Welcome back to the show, everyone. Craig and Jonah here. Today we wanted to revisit sort of a topic that came up in a few episodes ago. I always do this. I always say I'm going to link to something and then never go back and link to it. So we'll see if I can remember to go back and link to that episode. But there was an exchange that I had on Christopher West's Theology, the Body Institute. They have a large YouTube page. And the video that was on their page was addressing how to tell your, I don't think they said wives. I think they anticipated people were going to have this conversation much earlier than marriage, but how to tell the women in your life that you struggle with porn and or masturbation. And I think the thrust of our comments the last time was in response to where she said that this is not just a men's issue and that women struggle with masturbation and or porn just as nearly as much as men. And we found that to be highly unlikely and incompatible with our own experiences, as well as what we learned during our interview with Father Longenecker. So I had gone on, and this is a chance for people that want to find. If you don't know who I am in real life, you can go find me there because I commented on my own personal account. Jonah remains a mystery.
Yes, thankfully. I am a man of mystery.
That's right. Maybe for 1,000th episode, we'll have you stand sideways. We'll get a side profile.
At the pace we go, at 1,000 will be too soon, I think.
10,000, whatever.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Yeah. So anyway, I went on there and I commented the fact that this is not really. I made two main points. One, this is hardly a woman's issue as much as a man, and I talked about Father Longenecker's observation that approximately 50% of men in the confessional talk about masturbation and porn, and how 1 in 20 women, and that might be an overestimate, confess to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, second of all, I think we should stop treating porn and masturbation as if they are, well, I said we should stop treating porn as if it's the same thing as masturbation, and we should stop treating porn and masturbation as the same thing as infidelity.
Which makes sense to what I would say is a very reasonable person. I mean,
yeah,
they're totally different kind of acts. Like, it's not even in the same.
Yeah, porn is 2 minutes away from my phone. To have an affair, even in the modern world of Tinder and stuff, it's just.
I suspect that most women would be hurt more by an actual affair versus.
I would sure hope so.
I would sure hope so. Like. Because I think that, and maybe that's where it is different. If your wife would come to you and say that she'd been watching porn, it would be a different experience than, like, what you been watching?
Yeah. Any juicy tips for me?
Yeah, because I haven't been.
Things that you like. Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know what any of that's like. What is it like? I wouldn't even know how to find it.
No, so you made some great comments here, and just that they shouldn't be the equivalent of each other, basically.
Yeah, and there was a fair amount of likes on it. I think the last time I checked, there was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, 13 likes, and then a guy named Doubtful said, "Good response."
Yeah,
but then, dun.
Yeah,
somebody named Alina. Oh, I shouldn't say her name.
I don't care. You can go.
Alina.
She's online. Yeah, go.
Alina Paulo, 4654. Do you want to read it?
You can go ahead and read it.
While it may be a common problem and can very well be an addiction, it is infidelity. Saying it isn't dismisses how your partner feels. A partner, man or woman, has every right to feel hurt and is justified to feel the way they do. Infidelity, by definition, is not being faithful in deeds, words, motivations, etc. Even if you don't think it is with your partner, it is infidelity with God. That's a fair point. That's fine. It is important to be honest and open with your partner on how deep the struggle is. Questionable advice.
Do you really want to know? I think
Be careful what you ask for.
I think people that say that have no idea what it's really like, but go ahead.
The extent/depth of infidelity can vary on that point, and a partner who understands addiction and is open to talking and learning about this issue will see that. I'm not sure how many partners are open to talking about that. I mean, she's talking about a rare circumstance there. And so I would caution on belittling or dismissing the hurt and betrayal a partner can feel. Your relationship is meant to be a safe space where you can be completely open, vulnerable, and trust each other with your mind, soul, body, and heart.
The irony.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
How many guys feel like their relationship with their wife is that open? I mean, I feel that way, but
I had this image like there's a guy sitting there, sitting in a chair telling his wife, and she's standing there over the head with a club in her hand.
You should feel safe around me.
Tell me anything.
You don't trust me?
Yeah. How dare you?
She goes on, if you're struggling with this, undoubtedly insecurities and wounds can come up, and it's a sign that they care about you and how you feel about them, whether you desire them, whether you mean what you say, your acceptance, etc. While painful, their distress should be a sign of encouragement for you to persevere in overcoming it. Seems like you're putting yourself in a vice there.
Yeah.
Take responsibility is not to shame you or indicate that you're not enough. It proves you're a man or woman of integrity that faces your struggles and acknowledges your participation, however ingrained in them, and how that affects others. Healing and recovery can come a lot faster than if you try to brush it off and get frustrated with the people around you who haven't forced you towards those struggles. We all have choices, however easy or hard to make. And then she concludes by saying, thank you for sharing your thoughts and feelings, and I hope I wasn't condescending. It's just kind of long-winded there, considering, I would just, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if this person's husband, assuming she's married, if they would come to her and say, that I'm struggling with this, would he really want a long-winded response? I don't know. I just suspect he might not feel comfortable. I don't know. And I would, what did she say? Take care, and I'll be praying for you. And, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's very nice.
It's good to know she's praying for me.
That is good. And I have some advice for her as well.
Okay.
So just in case she has a spouse that's struggling with this.
Yeah.
There's one way to cure it. It's easy. It's easy. You have intimacy 3 times a week for the rest of your marriage.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All of those issues are gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you are God's cure for this person.
Oh, well, it's fair advice because
if you genuinely care about this person not having this habit, that's the one cure.
That's the prescription.
Yeah.
It really is that simple though. And it's glib to say it like that, but it's just the truth. And if you don't have it, at least probably twice a week, your spouse is going to struggle to some degree with it. Once a week is the bare minimum, I would say. Twice a week you're keeping them safe, but once a week there's some level of temptation probably.
What I think is funny about this is that I long ago thought that this was sort of the solution for me in my life, but I think she has this impression that, do you really want all the husbands to go to their wives and give them an ultimatum and say, hey, I struggle with masturbation. I need you to double or triple the intimacy or whatever the case may be. I don't think they really want that.
No.
And most of us, I'd say, don't do that because we don't want to be that.
Wants to burden their lives or whatever.
So you just deal with it in secret.
Exactly.
And I think these things become, I would say, from, let's say, more of a casual problem to an addiction because you are dealing with it in secret and you are not having these kinds of conversations with your spouses because you're afraid to.
And because literally in a lot of cases, if they're taking care of children and doing all sorts of other things, you see that and that they're tired or whatever. So it's why do you want to put them through this? But but at the same time, you just can't go through life just it's nearly nearly impossible struggle. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just you can't just will your way around these feelings, I don't think. Origin proved that. You just lopped them off.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I mean, I just it was a reminder. And again, I don't know her state in life, if she's married or single or whatever, but I just think, I think for a, let's say, especially for a single woman, it is going to be nearly impossible for her to understand what this issue is like for men. I mean,
No.
it's not even easy for most married women to understand it.
Hmm.
My wife never knew.
Mine didn't either until we talked about it.
You know, I don't think they appreciate how yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, just go up and have this conversation with your spouse and be okay with them feeling hurt and betrayed and all that. We're like, oh, again, I don't want to do that to my wife. I don't want her to experience that. So
Well,
guys,
you
just
don't want her to feel the guilt either.
yeah,
That you're going through this and whatever. Like that is it, and that's where they're just. I don't want to say they're wrong, but like
unrealistic. I think they're just very unrealistic in how things actually go.
yeah, I would suspect that they have no idea how often their husbands deal with that. Like, I think that that's the reality of that situation.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah,
and so they think, oh, he doesn't do that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I remain convinced that what we need, that like we need to normalize the discussion about it, and not necessarily normalize the practice, because I don't even think any guy wants that.
no, nobody wants that.
It truly is
No guy wants that.
yeah, no.
They want intimacy with their wife.
Yep, yep. So, but there continues to be this barrier, in part because I think those types of messages reinstill in women why they should be hurt if they find out, and instills in men that they should not dare bring this up.
Because they're coming
To
from
their
a point
spouse.
of moral superiority,
Yeah.
where it's almost like you're going in front of a firing line then to
Yep.
just take the arrows or whatever.
Yep.
And really, the man is coming from the point of just this biological
Yep.
sort of function, which we covered a few episodes ago with a great video from
Yep.
the
Yep.
hot and holy lady.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I, not to pick on the TOB Institute too much, but I did go through, and there's been some other comments since then, and the ones that are endorsing that message usually get a like and a positive comment from the TOB page. None of that came onto my comment.
Even though it's a fair point. Like,
I think I was pretty fair in my comments, and I would love to have a discussion with those folks. I'm a Patreon member of the TOB Institute, and I send in my questions, and they're supposed to answer patron questions. I haven't seen any of mine answered yet.
they're too difficult to answer.
Yeah,
that's true, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna keep trying, but we're here. I mean, I just think
you're the missionary to the masturbators, man. You gotta keep up the good work.
It's a lonely path.
You must walk alone.
It's hard. It is a solo. It's very much a solo cause.
That solo journey, yeah. Just trudging along. Nobody's with you.
Nobody's with you.
Well, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I support the cause.
Yeah,
but in a somewhat anonymous way, but I'm here.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. So I don't know. Excuse me. I'm dealing with a cold, but yeah, it just it's fascinating to me that the more I interact with other people, the more I see how just universal this misunderstanding is between men and women, and wives and husbands, and I don't know why it's so hard to break through that. Like, I just keep chipping away.
But you know what it is, man.
Yeah.
We just said it's the ignorance. Like, they totally think that their husband is totally satisfied and whatever else, and he might struggle, but he never does any of that stuff.
Right.
But the reality is obviously far different.
Well, and not to be too cynical about it, but I'm certain a lot of them are like, he should be glad I'm doing it as often as I am, because if it were up to me, I would never, maybe I wouldn't do it at all. And I just think, we just have so much work to do in the realm of communication within Catholic marriages. I mean, I think we have the tools. I think we have the tools there by and large, but
they don't have the guidelines, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, as frustrating as they can be sometimes,
The guidelines are good.
I do appreciate them when I kind of wander into non-Catholic communities and see the conversations and struggles they have. They're the same stuff, just a little different flavor. It's not like having freedom from the rules is liberates all of it, but I think we have the tools. I think we do. I think we as Catholics have the right set of tools, but we're just not really utilizing them the way that we should be. And that's kind of what we try to accomplish here. So
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
Thank you, Jonah. So I guess we'll keep probing them until they block me
and refund your money.
Yeah, here's your money back. Don't ever come back again, kind of thing. I'll have to start creating aliases and bot accounts to go comment and spam them. But till that, I'll keep plodding away until one of them nibbles and we can have a conversation. Gonna get Christopher West on here.
Oh gosh, I don't think he could handle the questions we'd
I
have.
don't think he could. I don't think he could either. I think he's used to the conventional,
the echo chamber.
Yeah, he's used to the echo chamber. And he's used to the conventional objections of, but I don't think he's prepared for
real life
hand comment from someone on inside.
Yeah,
inside the bunker.
That's true. It's a double agent.
That's right. I don't know where I'm at, Christopher, but I'm waiting for you. All right. Well, thank you, Jonah.
You bet.
And until next time, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.